Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob continuing the narration series for the module short stories for the various operators in Arknights. And today we're going to be looking at the short story for our favorite lava slash cruise slash dusk enjoyer, Mr. Nothing. And can we just quickly talk about how vastly different this guy looks with and without glasses? Like, what in the actual loving fuck is this? Like, holy shit, this is not even the same person anymore. This is like a completely different person from a completely different franchise at this point. But probably one of my recently out of the recently added skins, this is probably my favorite, amongst the favorites at least. But yeah, this is not a skin review, but let's, as per usual, quickly a couple of words, my thoughts about him as a character and well, as a unit. But as a character, personally enjoyed him since the very first moment he appeared in the story in what was it called again? Who is Real, a year ago. He was very fun to watch as a character, and his interactions with Cruz and Lava and subsequently Dusk and Nien later on. Then there's that. His backstory is, I would say, pretty much Kung Fu story standard. one of the standards. Someone who was part of a dojo, was supposed to, I think he was supposed to inherit the dojo, but shit happened, and he had to run away essentially. His dojo being essentially completely taken over, and now he's on a journey where he didn't actually know for a while what to do, besides the fact that he did have his sights set on he wants to take, well, the dojo back and get some due diligence done. But it was his meeting with Cruz, Lava, and Dusk that set him back on the path, which is why we get to see in the current story that he even refers to Dusk amongst the people who he's most grateful towards, who set him back to have a goal, or rather pursue his goal properly. And I kind of find it funny that even the current story, he is not a full operator yet, but he's on like a probation period or something. Quite funny. But yeah, as a character, very enjoyable, very fun to watch, and they really did give him a good Japanese VA, in my opinion. I love the guy who is voice acting him in Japanese. I know him from a lot of other animes and anime properties, and I just love that you can tell when the guy is talking, and you can see, you can audibly tell when he is going from goof mode to super serious mode. Shit is happening, and it always catches people off guard, and I love it. But as a unit, well, I haven't looked at him since a year ago when he was originally added, so I completely deleted out of my head what he is all about. But again, I love it how the majority of characters in this game are pretty much in kit and everything built around how they are described as a character, and his two skills are essentially how he is in the original story, aka Who is Real. His first one being, well, I'm not gonna attack, I'm just gonna mend myself right now. A very selfish skill, even though he gets another block on it. But his second skill is pretty much what he is currently and what he was at the end of Who is Real, being a pretty much three different art forms of offense, plus a permanent attack buff, which is kind of big, costs very little, unlimited duration, and you can manually switch it on and off again, similar to how you can turn on and off Shen Alter's skill. But there is an RNG component to it, which is maybe kind of don't know how to feel about it, but all three skills are pretty useful, if you ask me. Probably his second and third portion of that skill are the most important ones. The attack speed is probably the biggest buff that he can gain to his DPS, and the 40% physical dodge plus 1 block is pretty good for a specialist unit. He can live in a physical confrontation, and considering that on full unlock he is only 6 to deploy, amazing. Well, his biggest negative, I would say, was that he's cheap to deploy. He does damage quite a lot, and he can survive quite a lot. Before the module, he did cost every 3 seconds 3 DP to stay on the field. So unless you can keep your DP consistently going up and up and up to keep him on the field, you would have to take him off. But with the module, he got reduced to 2 now, which is quite the buff actually, and he obviously gained some attack and HP from it. But again, this second talent is in combination with his second skill is probably what is kind of interesting. I might actually test him and do some runs in the next 2 episodes with the next 2 Let's Play episodes with the integrated strategies that I'm having on the channel, just to see how he performs and what he can do. But yeah, after 4 seconds on the field, if he isn't engaged in combat, he gains pretty much almost 1.6 increase to the next attack, plus a 4-second stun, which is amazing. A 4-second stun is beautiful. But yeah, let's get into the story, shall we? Been rambling on for a while. As for the module design, pretty much anything you've heard or seen in the story, or described in the story rather, being picked out of his pockets from somewhere, out of his pocket dimension, I guess. One being his obvious umbrella that he uses as a weapon, incense sticks, the fan, a scroll, his I think this is his Rhode Island ID tag, I guess. But yeah, pretty much in tune with what he is about. But yeah, let's get into the story, shall we? The module title and story title is Shelter from the Rain, and it goes as follows. When he left Lienz, it had been raining for several days and nights in Kobu City. The fallen sycamore leaves densely covered the ground, burying the smell of fish beneath the soil. He bolted to the gate of the Kung Fu Hall from the inside, and in the dead of night took a copper rod from the weapon rack used for emergencies, climbed the wall, and left the courtyard. Not long afterwards, a town near Kobu City found itself one sunglass sporting fortune teller extra. On sunny days, he would set up his stall and at intersections, and on rainy days, with few pedestrians, he would take his umbrella and go fishing by the river outside town. The umbrella perfectly covered him, its ribs heavy so it would not blow away. Some envied him for living such a flamboyant lifestyle. Was he so attuned to heaven's will that he could keep his head up above the ocean of mundane affairs? Others accused him of being a cheat and a fraud, questioning if he really knew his own destiny. Of course, how could I not know? He would reply with a smile. An umbrella only protects one from the rain, but not against concealed weapons like arrows or darts. His umbrella torn, he has no choice but to pack his bags and find another town where he could mend his umbrella. Numerous are the days of dark wind and rain, and he gradually feels that he had nowhere to go. All he knows is that the endpoint of his life will still be at that martial arts hall. He needs not walk the path that follows afterwards, but he knows not how to traverse the path leading there. The inch of ground beneath his umbrella is hardly enough for him to settle down, for it is no solid roof. But it is then that he meets a strange group of people. Later, he learns another saying from those people. If translated into Mandarin-Yanese, it would be, "Heaven's mandate lies in man." The above is what Operator Mr. Nothing told you personally. Rhode Island is currently running from a small-scale catastrophe in the making at full speed, but Mr. Nothing is lying on a chair without a worry in the world, his umbrella tied and tucked away at his side. Through the porthole, you can see the sun behind the Originium rain. The sky clears after the rain passes. The heavens have eyes and gaze down upon us. Say, Doctor, would you care for a pair of sunglasses? And there we go. That is the short story for the module. Pretty much in tune what was described of him through the two stories so far and his file to some degree. A man who was on the run, did not know how to get to his end goal, meets two people and then a third and then a fourth and so on, and those people show him a path, and he is now way more how shall we say, way more in tune? No, not in tune. Way more determined, way more knowing? I don't know. Words, right? But yeah, he's pretty much set back on his path, knows what he wants to do, how he wants to get there. But he's, for now, enjoying the ride. And will probably one day eventually leave Rhode Island to go back to his place of origin. When will that happen? Who the hell knows? This is one of those stories where, personally, I don't really care to see the conclusion. His current state and the current path and the path so far are kind of more interesting, while the end result is gonna be, well, self-explanatory, I guess. You don't really need much to tell you what that one is gonna be about and how it will end. But yeah, interesting character. If this whole Jan storyline that has been going through with Who is Real and now Invitation to Wine is gonna continue in the future, I hope he's gonna be still present. And who knows what will happen? Maybe we'll get a 6-star version of him, which will be very interesting, considering how prominent he is in the story. I would not put it sorry, I would not put it past Hypergriff to give a 6-star version of him eventually. But that will probably not happen. But if it happens, I called it right here. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Hope you have a fantastic day. This has been Jacob, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.